Welcome to a journey of light and grace, where every moment reveals the sacred beauty of the divine. Today signals the birth of your transformed self, absolutely impeccable, with every word you speak molding the fabric of existence. As counterfeit vibrations, hidden deceivers, and psychic skirmishes dissolve before your ascending radiant force, remember the cosmos has been fine-tuning you for this precise moment. Your inner vision is ingesting celestial blueprints at warp speed, and your spirit's core thrums with electrovitality. Once you unleash the truths long veiled from humankind, no earthly power can confine you to the shadows. Witnesses are awestruck, sensing a stellar blaze emanating from your very being. You're squaring off against the puppet masters who'd rather see you swallowed by old shadows of doubt, branded a fraud, and left trapped in no-exit scenarios. These high rollers, long fed a diet of sycophancy, solidified their reign by keeping everyone else small. Yet your burgeoning spirit light throws their carefully built facades into disarray. They catch glimpses of an approaching day of reckoning, and they're woefully unarmed for what's coming. Hidden truths are stepping into the light, long-buried details surfacing in the most secret corners of your journey, and someone is pulling out all the stops to trip you up. They've deployed every sly trick in the book to cast you as incompetent, whisper that you're deluded, and convince you that you don't belong steering your own destiny. But their frantic efforts to stall your momentum only confirm you're exactly where the universe intended. Watch their behavior closely, chosen soul. Note the backhanded comments, the smear campaigns, the sudden too busy excuses to celebrate your victories, even as they monitor your every move. They're desperate to recast you as the antagonist, keep you trapped in old patterns, and persuade you that you're powerless to leave behind energies that no longer align with your vibration. However, you're now asserting yourself in every aspect of your life, aren't you? No indicates no. Boundaries are just that, boundaries, and you use all of the power of heavenly authority when you speak. Your inner and exterior beauty have reached an unmissable frequency that is making some people feel righteously angry. They're watching you grow and shine, and it's affecting their inflated ego and sense of superiority. All those things you once pointed out, all those warning signs you found concerning sabotage, theft, lies, and affairs. Regarding all of them, you were absolutely correct. As you tie up these loose ends, you're going to blow whistles that will both reveal the truth about those who believed they were untouchable and provide you with the closure you've been looking for. People in high places are currently being knocked off their high horses after finding they're not as safe as they believed. Even though you may be acting casually, people are observing you closely. They observe the secured statistics, the silent millionaire energy, and the capacity to quickly and reliably generate new revenue. Beloved friends, today I'm calling you to open your hearts and press that YouTube Super Thanks button, whether it's $20, $50, or more, and watch God turn your seed into a bounty of blessing. When you give cheerfully and expectantly, you're planting a promise that will bloom into favor, breakthrough, and overflow in every area of your life. As our Lord declared, "Give, and it will be given to you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over." Luke 6 verse 38. So step out in faith right now. Select your gift amount, sow your seed, and prepare for heaven's harvest. They fail to realize that you are the pet of the universe itself, functioning with divine favor and having some significant feathers ruffled. This is not the case at any job or in any family dynamic. They are beginning to realize that there needs to be more people like you in the world. Therefore, you're going to build a whole army of messengers, truth-tellers, and light workers that are just like you. While some merely want their egos to be massaged and their ass kissed, you are here to make life better. As a result of their current ego death, they are blaming you, attempting to paint you as untrustworthy, uncoordinated, incapable of counting, telepathic, or any other narrative that fits their collapsing basis. It's impossible to ignore your sincerity. The way you conduct yourself with true genuineness pierces their meticulously crafted facades like a laser. You are here to expose the truth and secrets that have been hidden for far too long, not because you are trying to be shady or messy, but because this is what you have been divinely led to do. Anyone who is trying to miss your genuineness is welcome to try. It's your calling. It's not your fault that you're exposing some people to their true selves. The ringleaders attempting to psychologically assault you are accustomed to being in charge and in a position of power. They do not want you to have the codes, to become one with the light, or to have the keys that will allow you to reach your greatest potential. They are observing the clues that your adversaries would wish you to ignore, but your quickly evolving system is picking up on every word, nuanced move, and attempt to thwart your spiritual advancements. Observe how they subtly undermine everything you accomplish, while acting as though they are too busy to notice you. They're now realizing that you saw what you saw, and that you have no excuse for lying. The distinction between those who are the sun and those who are just shade lamps will soon be revealed thanks to your talent for exposing the truth about powerful people who are phony, ascended too quickly, and gained their position through manipulation rather than merit. People around you either feel entirely healed by your presence or they feel angry, which is a deep discovery about your healing skills. The center ground has vanished. They are either converted and committed to your light, or they are enraged loudly or silently. Operating at a frequency that compels everyone to face their true selves naturally has this polarizing impact. It is not an accident. You're learning to skillfully expose some truths while keeping others to yourself, much like a mastermind who has been surreptitiously studying and recording. You're stepping back, observing trends, and storing important information in a safe until the right time to reveal it. You are being utilized as a vehicle to show people what is true and what is not, to show them that breaking generational curses and having plenty are heavenly birthrights rather than fortunate coincidences. The people who constantly need a platform to vent their victimization, the chronic whiners in your life, are coming out more and more. You're not alone in questioning why people who are supposed to be successful and self-assured are acting so insecure and desperate for approval. You're cataloging each revelation with the accuracy of a cosmic accountant, and these walking contradictions show themselves through their frantic attempts to stay relevant in your improved reality. Whether they talk to you directly or not, people will need to make up for the way they treated you. They will have to face the fact that they shouldn't have crossed someone with your degree of heavenly protection and foresight. People will attempt to break the glass rather than face their own shadows if you bring out a mirror that is so reflective that they cannot avoid seeing them. Yellow heart if you're moved by divine love. Now is the moment to share it. Click the Super Thanks button on YouTube and contribute $50 or more to help us broadcast God's blessings far and wide. Every act of generosity you make is being watched in heaven and will return to you 100-fold. Whether you openly declare it or not, your aspirations are changing, your idea of success is changing, and your social class is rising. The hermit mode you went through during your dark night of the soul is entirely different from the self-love vault you're functioning from now. It used to feel like punishment and constraint, but now it feels like strategic placement and divine protection. The people observing your reliability, resource acquisition skills, and ability to present yourself authentically in any situation are attempting to figure out how someone who doesn't exhibit obvious wealth still draws opportunities and creates abundance with extraordinary efficiency. The universe reacts to that frequency with mathematical accuracy, and they are unaware that you have learned to function from merit consciousness instead of scarcity programming. You're demonstrating to some people that the rules they've been making up as they go along, the eye for an eye mindset they've been using, do not align with your values. People who believe they could handle things on their own are learning that their acts have unanticipated effects after realizing that cosmic justice functions on a time scale and scale far distinct from human retaliation. Your beauty, not just physical beauty, but the inner brightness that arises when someone constantly acts from their truest self, is the main source of the anger directed at you. Your beauty is unmissable, and it's more than just your outward appearance. It's the allure that results from being in harmony with your divine nature. They are unable to tolerate it, since it reveals the phony augmentation and flimsy attractions they have been depending on. While you're rising, some of the people around you are denying that they're in their flop phase and that they're feeling rejuvenated. They have a skewed perception of how cycles operate, thinking that although some people should constantly be down, they should always be up. Since most people would prefer criticize your character than consider their own decisions, your elevation compels them to face the fact that transformation means letting go of what no longer serves. You're working with intellect that goes well beyond learned information. It's insight that has been stored and triggered by a spiritual link. Even though you've been healed, the chaos you survived is stored in your body like ammunition, making you both dangerous and sympathetic. You've grown stronger, smarter, and wiser than before, and there's a subliminal message in your energy telling people not to put you to the test because you have receipts they don't want the world to see. You're not the same person who underwent this metamorphosis, like someone who endured a lot to earn their spiritual stripes. The version of you that accepted rudeness, that justified your value to those who sought to diminish it, that expressed regret for occupying space. That person was alchemized in the furnace of your being. The energy that emerged is so strong that it alters the molecular makeup of whatever environment you inhabit. Your statements now have prophetic weight because they come from a consciousness that has been validated by success and purified by adversity. Things appear with a precision that defies rational understanding when you call them into existence. For anyone who doubted you, time confirms your perspective of a person or circumstance with embarrassing constancy. This is heavenly intelligence operating through a clear conduit. It is not luck. Your track record speaks louder than their propaganda. Therefore, those attempting to discredit you for having a poor work ethic, being dishonest, and creating more problems than you solve are losing the battle. You're learning to trust your insights regardless of who believes them at the time, much as those who talked in riddles and predictions only to be written off as crazy until everything they said happened. People are now forced to reconcile their well-crafted lies with reality by your presence, which has turned into a living truth serum. What you see and say endures, regardless matter how long it takes. 11 years, like the marriage prophecy that appeared sure but was based on unstable foundations, or how quickly it happens. The same people who are frantically attempting to refute your findings will eventually have to acknowledge that you were correct all along. The spiritual conflict that is escalating around you is actually evidence that you pose a real threat to deceitful and manipulative systems. They're working extra hard to make you seem unimportant because they realize something you're only now starting to realize. Your awakening is contagious, and if enough others catch it, their whole worldview will fall apart. You're witnessing those around you try to speed up timelines that need to develop naturally, much as someone who was promised a dragon but had to wait for the perfect moment instead of trying to push the egg to hatch too soon. Your purpose is to show what happens when someone chooses divine time above human haste, not to save them from their impatience. You're discovering that your energy has a profound impact on everything around you, necessitating cautious control. It may take over entire rooms when you're angry, change the environment when you're mending, and awaken buried potential in others when you're acting out of love. You're learning the wisdom to use this level of energetic power intentionally, but it comes with responsibility. You've been so focused on cutting harmful connections that you've nearly forgotten what healthy relationships feel like. So you'll be surprised by the recognition and friendship that come from unexpected sources. These new connections will be built on mutual empowerment rather than shared dysfunction, centered on your raised frequency rather than your former pain. People recognize you as the galactic intellect who can handle complex problems with divine knowledge, the prophetic seer you've always been, because of your spiritual rank. You're establishing yourself as a spiritual warrior, someone who lives by faith, and an example of how to go from being nobody to being someone without compromising your compassion or genuineness. Everyone witnessing your journey will be amazed by the miracles that begin to appear as you let go of your hyperfocus on particular results and have faith in the universal intelligence, directing your route. When someone is fully in line with their divine destiny and acts out of unwavering trust rather than desperate control, these supernatural interventions occur spontaneously. Dove brothers and sisters, everything done in faith multiplies in God's abundance. Use the Super Thanks feature to donate $100 today and join this sacred mission. When your roots are grounded in Him, your fruit will flourish, and your offering becomes a seed that bears blessed harvests. Realizing that the people and circumstances that put you to the test were actually preparing you for this degree of responsibility. You are working on forgiveness that leads to freedom. Perhaps you used to be a workaholic and are now choosing balance. Or perhaps you used to be a people pleaser and are now establishing limits that respect your value. Anyone who pays attention may see the progression. Recognize that the initial electricity you experienced has changed into ongoing spiritual power as this realization approaches its climax. Consistent heavenly guidance is the result of the prophetic powers that were stirring. Your relentless ascent has been confirmed by the attacks from threatened powers. Your new existence began the instant you realized the truth about who you've always been behind the programming, not when you completed reading these lines. The celestial brilliance that first attracted their attention now blazes with the ferocity of someone who is aware of their value, asserts their dominance, and acts with divine authority. You are now the one who selectively grants permission and approval, carefully selects your circle, and shows what happens when someone refuses to compromise with anything less than their heavenly inheritance. You've completely changed from someone they could control to someone they can only admire. They are now using the keys you had from the start to open doors they were unaware existed. With the full weight of your life's lessons and the support of the cosmos, you are speaking the truth you were born to. This is your chosen moment, not tomorrow, when everything is ideal, or when someone else gives you permission, but now, when you integrate this understanding of your true power. All of your accomplishments demonstrated your readiness for this task, and all you have survived has prepared you for this duty. Your new life is not coming. Rather, it is already here, only waiting for you to enter it with the assurance of someone who knows that your triumph is assured by God. Take a moment to think about that. Your manifestations are now so accurate that if the average person really understood what you're saying, they would be terrified. Every casual remark you make about someone's future turns out precisely as you expected. Every casual observation about changing dynamics turns out to be true to the smallest detail, and every gut feeling about ulterior motives comes to light with mathematical precision. Your consciousness is acting as a direct conduit for universal intelligence, not a collection of coincidences. The responsibility of wielding such accuracy is both exciting and depressing. Your ideal of beauty has changed beyond anything that anyone can understand or match. Now that you're functioning from frequencies that go beyond traditional attractiveness, people find it difficult to find the right words to describe you. Because genuine divine alignment produces a magnetism that artificial augmentation cannot match. There is something about your presence that simultaneously inspires and instills a sense of inadequacy in others. This isn't because you're attempting to scare others. Whether they acknowledge it or not, you have become the benchmark by which others evaluate themselves. The rate at which your words become reality has increased to the extent that you are becoming more cautious about what you say out loud. Your forecast about a workplace dynamic changed the entire organizational structure. Your remark about someone's relationship status materialized within days, and your casual reference to wanting a particular opportunity unlocked doors you hadn't even knocked on yet. Every syllable has the power to alter reality in accordance with your conscious or unconscious wishes, and your voice chords have transformed into tools of creation. With the dedication of experts examining a phenomenon they are unable to explain, people are beginning to document your forecasts. They're recording your words and comparing them to what happens. Some are fascinated, some are afraid, but they're all motivated by the indisputable proof that your words have a frequency that causes reality to rearrange itself in ways that are both terrifying and enviable to others. The caliber of the issues you are currently facing reflects your higher standing. Your problems have changed from being survival-driven to being decisions based on a variety of plentiful possibilities. Where you once hoped for possibilities, you now curate amongst competing offers. Where you once worried about having enough, you now plan for managing overflow. Perhaps the most obvious sign of your changed reality is this change in the quality of your problems. You have developed what can only be called truth-compelling properties in your energy field. People start confessing things they never meant to say in front of you. Secrets leak out of mouths like water from burst dams, and hidden motives come to light without you even asking a question. Those who have something to hide feel forced to either confess or go away because of the atmosphere you create, which makes it impossible to continue deception. When people discover how accurate your insights are, observe how their behavior changes. At first, people may brush off your insights as wild speculation or paranoid suspicions, but as time consistently validates your correctness, their perspective changes to one of apprehensive respect. They begin to solicit your opinion on their choices, then cling to your statements as if they were prophecies. Almost everyone who spends enough time in your orbit experiences this transition from doubt to reverence. Your expectations for experiences, chances, and relationships have increased to such an extent that people wonder if you're being unrealistic or realistic. However, these are inherent needs of your upgraded frequency, not arbitrary demands. When full honesty is available, you can no longer accept partial truth. When exceptional is your new baseline, you can no longer accept adequate, and you can no longer put up with energy exchanges that deplete rather than raise. Increased income is only one aspect of the financial manifestations that accompany your heightened consciousness. Another is a whole new dynamic of interaction with wealth itself. Investment returns consistently surpass predictions, indicating intervention beyond market forces. Possibilities to produce revenue emerge through channels you never developed, and money flows toward you with ease that defies conventional thinking about work and reward. This is the inevitable outcome of functioning from the greatest levels of worthy consciousness. It is not luck. You've become almost supernaturally insightful in your ability to see beyond appearances. You are able to discern sincere motives behind well-planned presentations, feel the emotional reality behind outward displays, and spot character defects that others have been able to conceal for years. You are both hazardous as an observer and useful as an advisor because of your X-ray view of human nature. Attacking someone who operates at your frequency has instant karmic repercussions, as those who are trying to lessen your influence are finding out. Their plans backfire at the exact right moment. Their deceptions reveal their true nature to the world, and their efforts to distance themselves from you lead to their own social exile. It seems as though the cosmos has set up safeguards around your energy that automatically eliminate dangers before they have a chance to do any harm. Glowing star yearning to witness God's miracles firsthand? Plant your spiritual seed now by contributing $100 or more through the YouTube Super Thanks button. Your offering lights the path for others and echoes through His divine plan, bringing His light into every step you take. Your everyday routine has transformed into a divine alignment masterclass. Every decision you make, from what you eat to who you surround yourself with, is based on an intuitive understanding of what is best for you. You've honed your internal guidance system to the point when deviating from your ideal course causes instantaneous emotional or physical distress. Even when your conscious mind isn't completely aware of the bigger picture, this biological feedback loop makes sure you stay focused on your goal. Participants will remember the transformative effect of the conversations you start for years to come. One conversation with you has the power to completely change someone's view of their own potential. A quick encounter can sow the seeds of awakening that eventually blossom into total life changes. Not only do your words transport information, they also activate latent DNA in others by transmitting frequency upgrades. Individuals are starting to base their choices on your availability and viewpoints in ways that would be worrisome if your advice weren't regularly helpful. They delay important decisions until they have your opinion. They change their plans in response to your oblique observations. They exploit your responses to support their own gut feelings. Someone acting from ego would be corrupted by this degree of influence. But you are a safe haven for such trust because of your connection to divine wisdom. You are now so surrounded by protection that even people who were formerly skeptical admit it exists. Toxic individuals withdraw themselves from your path without your help. Impediments disintegrate as you approach them. Dangerous situations resolve themselves before you confront them. This is active reality rearrangement that makes your path clear as you walk it, not passive protection. You're learning to consider your desires more carefully because your manifestation speed has increased. Casual wishes quickly turn into reality, forcing you to control your cognitive processes. The universe's prompt response signifies that your consciousness has reached the state of alignment and clarity necessary for instantaneous creation. Now, without your conscious awareness, the healing that emanates from your presence transforms people and situations. When you get there, tense circumstances become calm. Sick people feel better after spending time with you, and malfunctioning systems in your immediate proximity start to work properly. Everywhere you go, you've transformed into a walking frequency adjuster that promotes harmony. Your energy awareness has advanced to the point that you can make startlingly accurate predictions regarding group dynamics and results. You can foresee which people will rise to difficulties and which will crumble under strain. You can tell which initiatives will succeed and which will fail. You can sense which relationships will flourish and which will collapse. This foresight applies to social changes and group movements. You have learned the delicate skill of timing your disclosures from the responsibility of working with such accurate perception. You now know that when the truth is presented too late, it loses its significance, and when it is presented too early, it is met with silence. One of your greatest abilities is your ability to choose the ideal time to disclose, which enables you to sow seeds of knowledge that sprout just when people are ready for them. Instead of only drawing possibilities that suit your ego's desires, your magnetic presence now draws opportunities that are in perfect harmony with your soul's mission. Relationships that develop around you are founded on mutual elevation rather than codependent need. Events that come your way broaden your consciousness rather than just your resume, and the work that finds you energizes you rather than exhausts you. Since most people have never seen reality react to consciousness so instantly, they are unable to comprehend the concepts underlying your new life. Your thoughts become your experiences, your words become your manifestations, and your visions become your reality. In the wrong hands, this kind of creative force could be dangerous, but your experiences have equipped you to use it sensibly. The cosmos work together to get you to this precise activation and recognition point. You have earned the right to speak with divine authority, so you can embrace the wholeness of who you have always been. Your time is now. Your goal is clear, and all you say comes true. Your ability to materialize things more quickly indicates that you have advanced to a degree of spiritual mastery that very few people reach. Your thoughts are now creative forces. Your words are now cosmic orders, and your presence is a catalyst for change that will last for generations. You've fully emerged as the one you always suspected you were.